Hey everybody, hi, it's Gretchen here. I'll give you a little play. Yep, it's getting ready to do take two of the year in review. If you were on Facebook yesterday and happened to see something of me like a silent movie, that was me. That was me doing my crazy stuff, and I just completely forgot to turn on the sound. So this is take two, year in review, and I'll go right to this. So there, now you can see me. Hey, I think I'll turn another light on. See me a little better. Light that up. Okay. All right. Yeah. Hello. So hi. I'm Gretchen Shepard. I am the photographer for Images by Gretchen. I have, if you've seen any of my work before or not, literally, I've been doing this since I was pretty little. I took a big break at some time and now have been back on it. But I have a whole blog on that on my website, if you're interested in that. Or maybe I'll upload that blog onto YouTube at some point. But checking to see if things are working. I hope. I do not have anybody monitoring this right now, so I'm hoping that, yay, it says I'm live now, and I'm going to check. Anybody monitoring this right now, so I'm hoping. So, good, I just checked you, okay. Facebook can hear me, yes. YouTube, I hope you can hear me too. So I thought I would, as a little introduction, talk about my year and photographs. And I thought I'd do that with kind of, and if you watched yesterday's, I'm going to do the first part really pretty quick because I had a chance to look through this. So I have my Lightroom catalog up here, and hopefully you can see this. And it tells that in my Lightroom catalog I have all photographs. Holy Ned, 99,585. Okay. That's in two different sections. I've tried to pull the family stuff out, and then the other stuff is my art. Just a little bit of the kind of photographer that I am. I love doing nature, any kinds of nature, and that includes wildlife. Wildlife is perhaps one of my favorite. Of course, it's one of the most challenging, and it spends the most time in the wilderness and all that kind of stuff. Landscapes I love, nature, I'm getting into a fair amount of abstracts. So up here on my catalog, you might see some. These are some, and I started. These are some way back old. This is like, oh gosh, these are back when we lived in Edmonds, so that could be as old as 2009. I know this Sedona abstract I did is 2012. The pigs were down at my daughter's farm when she still lived on the farm, so that has to be at least 2012, maybe 14 at the latest when they had those pigs. And these fireworks, gosh, this would be. These are the ones from Lake Washington. So those would be, or earlier. Who knows when they are? They are way back. So what I'm going to do today, I'm not going to take you through all 99,000 or even the 69,000 that are in my art catalog. What I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on 2020. And if it will load up my metadata and the dates and times and stuff that I have, I'm going to go back, not to there. I'm going to go back to 2020. And I have 55,752. And if I look back, It's a really different year for photographing, and obviously not able to get out as much. In 2019, I had 6,900. In 2018, I had over 11,000 that I did. And 2017 was 8,300. So, the years, this has been a real drop off. And I was real interested in seeing what kind of changes there had been and what I thought were some of my best. And if you happen to see some of the best, then you'll kind of get a chance to join in on that and see what you think. So let me transition over to here. So we're going to go month by month, and then I'm going to transition to this one. Come on, let's see up in here, and there, and I'm trying to get to, there we go. I'm going to transition over to this view. Yay. Okay, so let me get rid of some things that you can see, don't need to see. Okay, so we're going to start with January, and right off the bat, this was a year that I did in January 393, almost 400 photos. Some of them I did with an art project. Since we moved down here to Long Branch, I've been working with a group called Two Waters Arts Alliance, and we work with the schools, and we did a Give Your Heart to Art. So I was working on taking this image right here and of someone's necklace and altering it and doing some fun things to it and other things. Another part you'll see throughout the year is you'll see this tree, and I will pull it up. This tree is down on the beach below my house, and I live on the southern tip of the Key Peninsula in Washington State. And so Washington State, let's see, I hope you see this. So think of Pacific Ocean. Am I on the right side? Yeah, Pacific Ocean. And then top corner of, and then Canada up here. So this, Seattle's about here, Tacoma. Seattle's about here, Tacoma. And then you go out toward the coast, about halfway. There's part of the peninsula. We call it the Olympic Peninsula. And I live on this part called the Key Peninsula. And it's this little arm that sticks down into the southern end of Puget Sound. And I live way down on the very end of it. And it's lovely, and I love it. We moved down here in 2018. And it's just been deluxe. So this beach is down below our house. And this is a January high tide, covering the base of the tree, looking out across to Johnson Point over here. This is actually where Olympia is down there. But yeah, it was really amazing, and I loved this, putting this in black and white because the way the clouds were at that time. So that was one of my favorites. Then we had some snow too in January, and that was just, and these are 3 rocks that are right at the end of our driveway. And I loved the way that the snow created this little, I don't know, just this really almost someone in prayer, or I don't even know if it was prayer. I just thought she was just very gentle. I got the sense that it's a she, who knows what. But I loved the creation of the person that I saw, and throughout the year, I've noticed that has been a theme that has kind of expanded even more than it was before. Of seeing, my motto is finding the beauty hidden in plain sight, and one of the things that's hidden in plain sight for me is figures or faces. Whether it be of people or animals, different kind of things. I've also done a bunch of found landscapes, and those I'll come to later on in the year. So let's go back. We'll zip through. We had hummingbirds like crazy. We had this beautiful time where there was these cool clouds. This is from my deck. Just how I get inspired. The moon really early in the morning is setting over Harstine Island, yeah, it's just kind of a beautiful place to be, and I feel very fortunate. Um, you'll as I go through this, if any of you wonder about why does she have some of these things, a lot of it has to do with I've actually edited quite a lot. Where you saw the this catalog, this group of art stuff had 69,000 pictures in it now. At one point, it had about 110, 111,000. And that was at the beginning of the shutdown. And I spent a good lot of time editing and getting rid of stuff. Obviously didn't go through all of it. And some of it was because I was looking at things with texture and pattern, and I wanted to keep some record on how I took those photos and how I needed to improve or what I needed to do. And I've learned a lot more things like about my ISO, which is back in the film days we called it ASA. It was it has to do with how sensitive kind of things, and then whether or not my camera was even with things, which would create focus issues for me. And I just wanted to look for things, the line, the patterns, and then I spent some time just. You'll see every once in a while the deer will show up. This is right at the end of my driveway, down the hill, and they like to hang out. And the birds, I did a fair amount of birds. Hard to get rid of the wires around here, and I'm not really a bird photographer. That wasn't really what I wanted to do. My focus here was more practicing what it takes to focus on a specific image when the background is either dull or could overtake my focus, and kind of that type of things, and some experimenting. So I'll go across there's my neighbors across the bay. This bay during lockdown, she was able to stand on one end of the bay and I was on the other side of the creek, so we could still chat. Here's that tree again. Anyway, I'm going to zip through here because it was just a year, kind of the January. There was some really pretty times. We didn't go very far from home because we were getting ready for a trip in February that was going to take up a lot more time. And there's the deer again. We did end up going up to a place called Scenic Beach, and that tree really does stick right out of there. Now this image isn't edited. I haven't done anything to it, and I'm not sure if I will. It needs, back one. Oh, well, what happened there? It was just documenting kind of where we'd been, and that's photos can do that. And this is up the road from my house. There's a little bay that has these cool reflections, and I've gone back there several times to try to catch different parts of the reflection. Again, it was a study in this, a study in that, and what I could do. This is the boat launch not too far from that same bay. Looks over toward McNeil Island, which used to be a prison island, and I think Anderson Island shows there too. I'm not sure. But then I came back to that same bay and repeatedly, and finally one day I got an image that I feel like is the best of that whole month that I worked on. This is, and I turned it to black and white. Back in the background, there we go. Where are we? Sorry about that, folks. This jumps around on me. There it is. Sometimes you'll find different, oh gosh. Here we go. There we go. Take my hand off the mouse so it doesn't move too much. Get that out of your way. What I liked about this was the way I oftentimes do not like to put a horizon right in the middle So I needed it to come up, but I also still wanted the full tree and the full reflection and that swim slide in the back that goes back, and then the hills. I thought it had some depth. Um, I happen to like the muted, similar colors for this image because that was the feeling I was going for. I had someone who reviews photos look at it and say it needed to have more contrast, it needed to have more dark black and more white, and da 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 da. And that can make a beautiful image, and I oftentimes will try that in when I'm doing black and white, but that wasn't what I wanted for this. This was as I wanted it, just like that. So yeah, that's Felucci Bay, black and white. I really like that one. That was my best in January, I thought. So if we move on, I think January's almost done. Yeah. Birds in the backyard. We have tons in January. We have tons of birds in the backyard. They've just started to come back. And we have little birds, big birds. One day I had like 12 Stellar Jays back there. We have back behind this fence back there is, and back here is 16 acres of forest. That is pretty amazing to hear the animals back there every once in a while.